The recent announcement by the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, regarding the Federal Executive Council's approval of the construction of 40 luxurious houses for Nigerian judges in Abuja demands closer scrutiny. With President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the helm, this decision, alongside the remarkable 300% salary hike for judges, prompts deeper questions about governance, impartiality, and integrity of Nigeria's judicial system. While housing and remuneration for judges may seem long overdue, the context and timing of these actions suggest something far more troubling than the simple upgrading of public service conditions. The planned construction of these 40 houses, set in the upscale Katankwe district of Abuja, is an extraordinary gesture. According to Wiki, 20 houses will be allocated to FCT High Court judges, 10 to Federal High Courts, and 10 to the Courts of Appeal.
Very difficult how judges and justices will be living in rented houses and hotel apartments. That is not safe for judiciary. That is not convenient for them to do their work. And so Mr. President directed that the FCT, through the FCDA, should immediately construct 40 number judges and justices quarters at Katankwe district. Now what it means is that out of these 40, FCT High Court, which is like the FCT Court, will have 20. The Federal High Court will have 10, and the Court of Appeal will have 10. And this will be completed in 15 months' time.
The announcement was accompanied by the news that access roads to the judicial quarters are set to be completed by December.
Again, Council approved the construction of access road from Arterial Road N11 in Mabuchi to Judges' Quarters. In essence, all the roads within the Judges' Quarters will have to be constructed.
While no cost estimates were provided, we can infer that the project will consume a significant amount of public funds at a time when the country grapples with rising poverty, insecurity, and economic instability. A 15-month timeline has been set for completion, but we cannot ignore the heavy political undertones that accompany this project. While no one can argue against the need for improved working conditions and housing for judges, these moves appear laden with ulterior motives. The timing of this decision, coming months after the controversial election results that led to Tinubu's assumption of office, raises pertinent questions. The judiciary, having played a key role in the legal battles that followed the general elections, finds itself in an uncomfortable spotlight. This new benefit for judges, luxurious homes in one of the most affluent areas of the capital, and a 300% salary increase seem eerily convenient. The approval for these benefits look less like a thoughtful and overdue reform and more like an act of gratitude towards a judiciary that helps secure Tinubu's contentious victory. The Supreme Court's decision in favor of Tinubu sparked widespread debate, with many questioning the neutrality and fairness of the ruling. Now, months later, Tinubu's administration showers the judiciary with lagis, leaving Nigerians to wonder, is this governance or patronage? Is this how Tinubu rewards his allies? Judicial salaries have been stagnant for years, and many would agree that an increase was long overdue, but the way and manner in which this increase has come about appears less about remedying an oversight and more about consolidating political alliances. Supreme Court justices, once paid modest salaries compared to their counterparts in other countries, will now earn at least 5 million naira per month, with the Chief Justice earning a staggering 64 million naira annually. For a judiciary that is meant to stand as a beacon of impartiality, these newfound rewards cast a long shadow of suspicion over their integrity. At a time when Nigeria is facing some of its worst economic challenges, with inflation skyrocketing and basic commodities out of reach for many, these developments represent a deep misalignment of national priorities. The country's minimum wage is a mega 70,000 naira, a sum that cannot sustain even the most modest of livelihoods in today's Nigeria. Meanwhile, public servants, particularly those tasked with upholding justice, are receiving windfalls that seem grossly disproportionate in the context of the country's broader economic woes. How can the government justify such generosity towards the judiciary when millions of Nigerians are struggling to make ends meet? When teachers, healthcare workers, and other essential service providers are grossly underpaid and overworked, this level of favoritism towards judges speaks to a dangerous imbalance in the government's priorities. It also sends a demoralizing message to the average Nigerian. Your struggles do not matter as much as the comfort of those who hold the fate of politicians in their hands. It is essential to note that the 40 houses and salary increases come against the backdrop of national discontent with the country's political and judicial elite. For many Nigerians, the judicial's role is upholding the rule of law, and it has been tarnished by a series of controversial rulings that often seem to favor the powerful over the ordinary citizen. These new housing projects and the extraordinary salary hikes can be seen as a way for Tinubu to solidify the judiciary's alliance ahead of future political battles, including the 2027 elections. In a functioning democracy, transparency and accountability are non-negotiable. Yet, in this instance, the government has failed to provide basic details regarding the cost of the housing project. How much public money will be funneled into these luxury homes? How will this expenditure affect other critical sectors like education, healthcare, and infrastructure that remain grossly underfunded? These are questions that Nigerians deserve answers to, yet none are forthcoming. The decision to prioritize the comfort of judges over the needs of the nation at large speaks to a deeper problem within the Nigerian political landscape. Governance, it seems, has become less about serving the people and more about consolidating power through backroom deals and political favors. The judiciary, which should stand as an independent and impartial institution, now appears to be entangled in this web of patronage and privilege. The judiciary is one of the pillars of democracy, and its credibility is critical to the health of the nation. When judges are perceived as being too cozy with the executive arm of government, public trust erodes. If Nigerians begin to believe that the courts are merely an extension of the president's office, democracy itself is at risk. The appearance of political favoritism, especially in light of the judiciary's role in the post-election legal battles, undermines the public's faith in the system. The judiciary should not only be impartial, but also appear impartial. Unfortunately, with the construction of luxury homes and the hefty salary increases, the perception of the judiciary as an independent arbiter of justice is seriously compromised. Nigeria stands as a critical juncture. As economic challenges mount and political divisions deepen, the decisions made by those in power will determine the country's future trajectory. Will Nigeria become a nation where the few continue to enrich themselves at the expense of the many? Or will it be a nation where justice, equality, and fairness prevail? The approval of luxury homes and astronomical salary increases for judges signals a worrying trend. It shows the government more interested in maintaining the loyalty of key political actors than in addressing the urgent needs of its people. It reflects a leadership out of touch with the reality of the ordinary Nigerians' daily struggles. As citizens, it is our duty to demand better. We must hold our leaders accountable, question their motives, and ensure that they are working in the best interests of the nation, not just for their political survival. The judiciary, too, must remember its sacred duty to uphold justice without fear or favor. Only then can we begin to restore the public's faith in our democracy. Nigeria's leaders must realize that the trust of the people is not something to be bought with houses and pay raises. True governance lies in serving the people, addressing their needs, and creating an environment where justice is not only done, but is seen to be done. Anything less is a betrayal of the nation's trust, and history will not be kind to those who put personal gain and political maneuvering above the welfare of the Nigerian people.